So today I want to take a few minutes to kind of go through some of this stuff down here. This has been like driving me crazy. This whole basement needs to be redone and decluttered and figured out, but I don't have that time right now. So I'm just going to go through, clear out some stuff on this shelf that I know I don't need anymore. I've been holding on to a lot of it, but I don't need it. So I'm going to go through, get rid of the stuff that I am no longer using, things that maybe I have duplicates of, and figure out kind of where we are from there. The lighting isn't great down here. I apologize. But let's just kind of get going and start here with some of this stuff. I have a whole bunch of these things, and I do use them. They're nice to have for Christmas time when I do a whole bunch of baking, but I have a whole bunch and I don't need to keep all of these. Plus I like the ones that are just single flat, so I'm going to probably keep those. Get rid of all the rest. And even though I have several of these I do use, especially the recipes I use them for. I usually make more than one at a time. So these I will hold on to. This was given to me, I accepted it, and I haven't let it go, but I've never used it. I have a new wok, so I don't need to keep this one. And this I'll keep for when we go camping. Some days when I'm doing these projects, I feel like it's never ending and I'm never actually going to clear out the stuff that I want to in my house because it is so time consuming. But I'm finding that if I just take small chunks of time and actually find the energy and the motivation to just get in there and do little bits at a time, that it will actually get done. And I do see progress once I do that. This is an example of something I bought for one cake that I made. I wanted to make a big cake like this for my son's birthday one year, so I bought the pan. I used it once, and I've held on to it just in case I had to bake another big cake like this. But honestly, if I have to, I can just make two 9x13s. I can make cupcakes. I can make a large, circle cake. So I'm going to let this go. I'm going to keep. And these are all things I've bought for the grill. Maybe I'll keep these for this year, and if we don't use them over the summer, then I'll get rid of them. And this is also, I think, good to have. These One I had, one I just bought recently within the last 6 months. And I just made some pizzas on them. I didn't like it because everything fell right through. So I made my own pizza crust and I used some cornmeal on the bottom and it all went through into my oven. So it made a big mess. I'm going to get rid of them. Some of this stuff is like the hardest for me to declutter because even though I only use it a couple times a year, say Christmas baking or fall baking, it's like I still want to keep some of those pans for when I do want to use them, but I also am sick of maintaining them all the time. So it's not perfect, but I did clear off a lot of space and I actually was able to go into my closet upstairs, which I'll show you in a second, and I'll show you what I was able to get rid of. So just by clearing out a few of those pans and just keeping room up here for the ones that we use every day, and then moving a few things around, I was able to get this back into a little bit of order. So it's just easier to grab the pans that we reach for on a regular basis. And then here's the stuff that I'm going to get rid of. Quite a bit. Some pans, a wok, all those racks, those 3 pans there, this huge cake pan, 2 pizza pans, and another baking sheet. Just by taking about 20 minutes of my time going through and clearing out more space. So today I wanted to come down and really start tackling some stuff in the basement. It has gotten out of control for a lot of years. I actually was like super on top of it. I spent hours and hours down here keeping everything organized. But over the last several months, I've just been too overwhelmed to keep it up, and there's just been too much stuff. So I'm not sure exactly how much I'm going to get done today. But I do want to come down. I want to get some stuff together for the food pantry. I'm sure some stuff will have to go into the trash. And I want to rehome some of the other stuff because I'm terrified if something happens to our water tank in there that all of this stuff is going to get damaged, and it's just not safe to keep it there. So I'm going to see what I can get done. The other area that I really want to focus on today is this. So as you can see, like I said, I've been really good about keeping stuff organized, but then this happens and I can't even get to any of the cleaners that I want to get to. So I want to figure out a way to fix this once and for all and start getting it under control. So I'm just going to get done what I can get done for today and see how that goes. So one of the things that I find when I'm starting a massive project like this is if I just move everything over into one section, it gives me a little bit more room to work, a little bit less clutter to deal with, and then I can just really focus on small sections at a time, and it just allows my brain to function a little bit better that way. Since starting this journey of decluttering and trying to get more organized, it's really changed the way that I buy things and bring new things into the house. Obviously, this is all stuff that I have, so I still need to deal with it in some sort of fashion. That's why I was happy to be able to donate a huge amount of food to the food pantry. And the other stuff we do use, and I'm okay if it's even expired a few months using it. I know it's still safe to use, but I would never donate anything that's expired to the food pantry. So I was able to get quite a bit out that way. And I'm sure once I go down and continue working in the basement, I'll also be able to get rid of more stuff. But this has really changed the way that I bring new things into the house. When I'm doing my grocery shopping, I'm really focused on a meal plan and only buying what we need for that week. And we've had so much less food waste. It's been incredible. Okay, so honestly, I was saving every single glass jar that I had or that we had used. I would wash it and save it. But realistically, I just don't have space and it's unnecessary. I have plenty of mason jars, clearly. So there's just no room in my life anymore to keep every jar possible. All right, so I think that's all I'm going to be able to do today in that section. It is so much better. The rest of those items are items that need my attention, whether I have to package them differently or put them away. But at least I know what's in those bags. I was able to get rid of a ton of stuff. So far, that's my donation bin of all stuff that I'm going to bring to the food pantry. Those crackers are going to go up to my pantry in the kitchen. I got rid of 1,000,000 glass jars that I had been holding on to. This is a small donation bag that I've got started. So now I'm going to focus on a different area. I want to encourage you, if you're struggling with clutter or a disorganized mess, to just get in there and do what you can when you can. I used to think that if I couldn't do everything all at once, like get it all decluttered, get it all organized, have the perfect bins, do everything perfect, then I wouldn't even bother until I could do that. But the problem is I very rarely have time to spend so many hours doing everything at once. So I found just doing things in small sections, getting it done, and now I can come down another day, do some more work, but at least I've started, and at least it did make a difference in the final result, and it makes it a little bit easier the next time. And honestly, the upstairs of the house is so much better. It like I can't even describe the feeling of just having so much less stuff, like how much easier it is to clean, how much better it feels when I walk into the house now. It's so amazing. Like I can't even describe the feeling. And until you actually are able to experience it, I don't know if you can describe how wonderful it feels. another really important thing, I think, is if you're somebody who's into preparedness or you just want to have an extra stockpile of things, because you never know what the future is going to hold, or what's going to happen. So that is the reason that I have a stockpile of stuff. But I would definitely recommend, before you even start building your stockpile, to get rid of all of the unnecessary stuff in your house, because I think that's what a big part of my problem was. Is I've been doing this for years, but I never actually got rid of all of the unnecessary clutter first. So then it just kept building and building and building. And then it felt like we had no more room left in the house. Like I was just like, our house is not big enough. We need more space. This is crazy. But in reality, we have plenty of space. We just had too much stuff. And so much stuff is not necessary. Like the extra cleaning supplies, the extra food, to me right now at this time of my life, I do think it's important, but I really would stress getting rid of all of the unnecessary clutter before you begin stockpiling, just so you don't end up like I did, where it was just all too much and it's very overwhelming and it's very difficult to go through it all. It takes a very long time. I've started this last October. It's now April. So I've been doing this for a long time, and sometimes I feel like it's never ending. But when I look around, I do realize that things are clearing out. It just takes time because we have so much stuff. Here I'm just finally putting away the last of our winter boots. I figured we're not going to use them anymore, so I might as well get them out of the way and put them in the closet, get them out of the space for now. I just recently started using this Tide powder for doing our laundry, and I'm really loving it so far. I find that I can use a lot less than is recommended, and it still does a great job. I also haven't been using the extra scent beads, um, and the laundry still smells really good. So I don't know if I'm going to go back to the liquid. I had bought these pans so I could make freezer meals in advance and put them in the freezer, but the problem is the freezer right now is too full and I can't even fit those pans in there. So what I did was I just put them away in with a bin that I have in the closet. I'll link to that video if you haven't seen us clear out that big closet. But I put it in that bin along with like all of the plasticware and stuff, because the only time that we use that is in the summer if we're having a barbecue and having people over. We don't use it any other time. So I'm putting it in that bin so I know exactly where it is, but it doesn't have to be like in our face all the time. This was definitely a spot that was neglected, so it was nice to be able to get in there and clean it up. Here's just a little reminder of what the before space looked like. Okay, so I was able to clear a lot of the stuff out of here and just empty out those bins. I can actually walk now and get what I need from my cleaning supplies. Cleaned in front of the washer and dryer. Picked up this area a bit. All of this was filled with stuff here. I went through it all, and like I said, those things in the bags are like sugar that I have to put away, beans, a couple things like that. So that is going to be for another day. But at least I cleared off a lot of the floor space again. So here is some of the stuff that I was able to bring over to the food bank. It felt really good to get it out of the house and to make sure that it's going to go to good use. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that this has given you some motivation to continue on your own decluttering and organizing journey. Take care. See you in the next video.